We welcome you back as Seth attempts more big bull trout with his homemade Leviathan fly.
Oh my goodness. This is just a monster of a fish. Oh, it's a beast. Guys, this is a big fish. Oh man, it's making my arm tired. Come on, Barbara's hook, stay in there, baby. Oh man, folks. Oh, look at that fish. Oh, he's a beast. Oh man, my right arm is literally cramping up. Man, I'm pulling hard. Oh, he's giant. Oh, he's big. So like this ball out there, Max? Yeah. That is an absolute beast. 35 pounds or so. It's a big, big fish. What a beauty. We're gonna put this fish back. Yeah, that is awesome.
The Angler's Experience is proudly sponsored by Crestliner, leader by innovation. Strike King Lure Company, #1 in fishing lures. Setter Rods, the American way. Sidewinder planer boards, fight the fish, not the board. Vibey Lure Company, blade baits for serious anglers. Tobler Marina, your one-stop boat shop. Easy Loader, all boat trailers are not created equal. Oxart, your single source supplier. Lincoln Electric, the welding experts. And Honda Marine, it's all about power.
He's all wrapped around the tail now. That's bad. One kick of that tail and he can snap that line. Oh, he's got it wrapped. He's pulling backwards. That's why he's pulling so hard. I'm having to bring him in backwards, guys. He's all tail wrapped. No, 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 no. Okay. There he comes. Well, folks, we had to turn the camera off so Mickey can net this fish for me. It's just too much to try to do by myself. I couldn't bring him in there and land him by myself, but wait till you see this. He's got the brown Leviathan in his mouth there. He's just an absolute, this is just an absolute beautiful specimen. Let me see if I can get him out here for you. I gotta be careful here. This is just a gorgeous, I mean, tell me that, folks. Back in the 50s and 60s, if you can believe it, bull trout were considered a trash fish, and they were just almost wiped out to near extinction. And I tell you what, they're coming back, and they are a beautiful, beautiful fish. Look at that belly. It doesn't get any better than that. I don't care what you say. That is just a gorgeous fish. Set this guy down here. Get that barbless hook out of there. He's a beauty. We're gonna turn him back. All right, there you go, buddy. Folks, this Leviathan fly that we've come up with, it's something that I just put a new spin on. It's actually an old fly. It's a variation of a bunny leech. And the bunny leech that you're used to seeing will look something like this guy right here. This one happens to have dumbbell eyes on it. But this is what we're doing, and we're going to change it up a little bit, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we tie it. What you look at when you look at fly fishing, and I get criticized a lot because, you know, I'm using hardware and I'm catching these big fish. Sometimes I'm using hardware and I'm using soft plastics. But I do have a background in fly fishing. I'm not as extensive as some of you guys that are hardcore at it, but I've done it for a while. But the reason why I came up with this Leviathan fly, when you look at a fly's construction, I'll take two right here. I'll take a woolly bugger and I'll take this bunny leech. If you look at the fly, they're typically built the same. What we've got is a straight shank. We've got the dumbbell eyes. On this guy right here, this woolly bugger, we've got a straight shank. We've got a bead head for our weight. Now, these two weights are your standard weights that people will use to weight their flies. And then at certain times, they'll take soft core lead, like this stuff right here, and they'll wrap it around the shank of the hook and then tie their fly. And what I thought of was most of your streamer flies, when they're working in the water, they glide like this. When you strip, everything glides forward. You have no dropping motion at all. And being that I've fished soft plastics and jigs for a lot of years, I came up with the idea of this fly. And how I based that was off of two jig styles that I use when walleye and bass fishing. This guy right here is your traditional jig, pulling straight up from the top. This is designed to fall forward and be lifted straight up. This is what gives you an undulating motion. This guy right here, the slowpoke jig, you can see the eye on this slowpoke in my left hand comes almost straight out the front. This guy comes right out the top. And what happens with this guy, if you want to swim a bait, a soft plastic grub, this coming out the front is going to cause that bait to glide, much in the same fashion as this fly being pulled out the front. They're going to glide. So I thought, how can I make a fly that's going to give me that same jumping motion instead of a gliding motion? And what I came up with was this Leviathan. What I've done, folks, the hook is the main difference with this fly. And what I'm using, I use anywhere from a 1/0 to a 4/0, depending on how big a fish we're going after. But I use a lead head jig hook. And what this hook's going to look like, it's made to go into the hardware end. It's made to be a jig. And what they do, as you can see, they'll pour that lead ball onto here and make it into a jig head. What I'm doing is turning it into a fly. Now, what I'm going to do is show you how to tie this guy up. And what I've done, I start out here and I pre-tie on my lead eyes. And this happens to be a 1/4 ounce. You can use any size you want. They make them from 1/8 ounce, 1/16 ounce, all the way up to 5/16 ounce. And what you're going to have to gauge it on is how deep of a stream and how fast the water you're fishing. But what I do is I pre-tie the eyes on, and basically what I do is I get my wrap started and I figure 8 the eyes on, back and forth, and to where I get it to where they're on there nice and stiff. Then I just take some head cement. I head cement them up real good, and sometimes you'll use 2 or 3 coats, but you want to make sure those eyes are on there nice and tight. You can tie the eyes on afterwards. I just prefer to do it on beforehand. It makes it a little bit easier. Now, tying the body is simple, and all we've done is I've just got my thread pre-tied on, tie it right about the barb, right in between the barb and hook point, somewhere in that neighborhood. You don't have to get too technical with it. The thing you want to do is you want to use a heavy thread. This is a 6/0 and bigger. These fish have big teeth and they're going to tear flies up, so be prepared to have some flies come apart on you. But all we're doing, I'm going to tie one up in a tan, and this is just a tan piece of rabbit strip right here. And I look for good quality rabbit strip, something that's nice and full. It's a little bit messy, but as you fish it, that extra lint will work its way out of there. But what you'll do is you want to use the tapered portion of the tail. The skin on the back right here, you want to make sure you're using the part that's coming off to form the tail, just like that. You wouldn't want to use this head portion because the hackle is actually coming backwards, the fur's coming backwards instead of forwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to determine our tail length. I like to use a fairly long tail, anywhere from 1.5 times the shank hook length. So what you do when you do this is you just take and spread this fur like this, as you don't want to tie over the top of it. I'll just use a little bit of saliva here. What I like to do is spread that out. Now that we've got that split, what we're going to do is lay it right on there where we've got our thread. We wrap right onto that split, doing just a couple of turns and getting tighter with each turn. Okay, and I put 3 turns on there. And then what I do is I come in and I grab this pearl flashabou, and I'll just grab, say, 2 or 3 strands of it, however much you want to use. Sometimes you won't want to use any, but we'll just take a couple strands of it here, like so. Now I've got my strands here. What I do, real simple, is just take and loop them over your thread, like so. Pull them back to where they're even. Now just slide them up on and put a couple of wraps on them, just like so, just to anchor them in there. Now you've got your flash coming out the back. Now what we'll do is we'll spin our thread just ahead of that rabbit, just to kind of hold it in place. Now I'll work it up front to where we're going to finish the fly off at, right up here. Now, all you do is you palmer wrap this rabbit forward. And you want to make sure that you don't wrap over the top of it, just keeping the next wrap right in front of it, just like so, and keep some fairly good tension on there, just like so. We're coming forward here, making sure we don't wrap over, and just take your fingers and kind of push it back, and that'll keep you from wrapping over the top of it, just like so. Getting close here. Wrap it up as far as we can. A couple more here. Okay. One more. Okay, now all I'm going to do is come in here, throw another couple of wraps, just keeping it snug. Now I'll come in here on the top, trim this guy back right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this rabbit out of the way, and I'm going to make my head. You want to make sure you make a nice head to keep that rabbit anchored on there. Okay. Holding it back, spinning it back. Now that I've got it anchored on there good, what I'm going to do is I take a few more pieces of this flashabou here. And guys, this just adds a little bit of color to it, just something to kind of antagonize them. Come in here, do the same thing, cut it, grab it like so, put it around the thread, get it about halfway or so. Now we'll spin it up on top. Anchor it down. Try to keep it right in the center. Anchor it down, just like so. Now what I'll do is I'll come in here with my whip finish tool, like this. I'll spin on, a few. I like to do quite a few of the whip finish just because of the teeth. Just like so. Pull it down. Come in here with my scissors, trim it. And then the final thing we want to do, pull this fur back again. You want to put your head cement on there, but you don't want to get it into the hair. What you do here, just come in, spin the vise, drop it down, come back in here on the top. All right, guys, there we go. That guy is ready to rock. That's a tan Leviathan with a little flashabou. I like them in the tan. This one really closely resembles the cutthroat that we're trying to get into that bull trout's face. We'll tie him in a white. Here's a white right here. This one works great also. And then we'll tie him in an olive right here. Guys, you can do any variation of these. Different size eyes, hooks, different colors, different forms of flash. But that right there is a big fish getting fly. But you're never going to believe this. Look at that. Look at that, guys. That is a monster of a cutthroat. Look at that cutthroat, guys. That is a giant. He hit that big bull trout plug. Yeah, buddy. Careful with you here. There you go, Bubba. Look at that, guys. That is absolutely beautiful. Come here, buddy. I don't want to hurt you. Okay, we hardly hang on to that one, guys. I'll just hold him in the net here, folks, so we don't splash around. Look at that. That is an absolute beauty of a fish. Fish is 9. I got to put a stick on this one, guys. This is a big cut. I'll eventually say about 17.5 inches, guys. Rough guess without hurting that fish. All right, partner, let's put you back. Nice, thick cutthroat, what a beauty. Big slits under his throat. All right, partner, back there and play with the bull trout. Whew. That was called a break off on a big fish. Wow. Big fish, folks. I don't know if we're gonna get him in or not. This is just an absolute beast. I mean, this is a huge fish. Massive fish. Oh, my feet are shaking. My legs are shaking. Oh, gosh. Can't even get him out of that current. Absolutely cannot get him out of this current. Dude, this thing's huge. I don't even want to guess. I don't even want to think about it. Well, folks, I apologize for being out of breath. Mickey's out of breath. We chased this thing up and down this creek. We finally landed it. Wait till you see this thing. It is an absolute mammoth of a bull. Look at that, guys. Is that not a giant or what? We're soaking wet. We're tired, but that was a journey I'd make 100 times again. All right, let's keep this one down in the water. We don't want to hurt it. I'm gonna get some still pitches and turn him loose. All right, big boy. You fought hard. We're gonna let you rest here. There you go, buddy. See you later. Got her, Mickey. Got her, Mickey. Got her, buddy. Oh no, I got my stuff all around me, guys. Get her on the reel. Get her on the reel. Oh man, she's a big fish, guys. Oh man, look at that, guys. Oh. Oh man, we're in for a showdown, fellas. Going up here, guys. Coming back down. It's a big fish. This is a big fish, guys. Oh. Oh man, that's a big fish. Oh wow. Oh wow, guys. This is a giant. Oh my word, guys. Look at that fish. Come on, baby. Oh. All right, guys, we are in for tug of war, fellas. Ooh. Guys, this is just a beast. Barbless hook, light line. Oh man. Oh, I can't even move it, guys. Absolutely cannot budge this fish. Oh. Oh my word, guys. Oh, this thing's huge. Guys, it's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Be patient, be patient. Oh my, guys, this is unreal. Oh, folks, this is just a giant. Oh my goodness. Oh, buddy, we just want to take a look. I promise. I promise. Oh my goodness. Mickey netted this fish for me, guys. I don't know how the footage is gonna look. It's a tagged fish. The hook popped out right when we got it in the net. Guys, that is an absolute beast. I mean, an absolute giant bull trout. My biggest stream bully ever, I'm sure. We're gonna put a tape on this guy. We're gonna be very careful with this fish. After all the chaos, Mickey and I got him measured. He's 36 inches long. That is my personal biggest bull trout. An absolute beast. Look at the head on that guy. My goodness. Tell you what, folks, it's been a great day. That is a fish we're gonna call it a day on. Let's get this big bruiser back. What a beauty. Oh, you big dog. Look at that, folks. We're gonna let him catch his breath. You wanna talk about an absolute beauty of a fish. Man, oh man.
For a list of today's gear and techniques, log on to axfishing.com and select AX Journals.